So the glomerular capillaries form cap bed 1, and the peritubular capillaries form cap bed 2. So remember when we talked about the hepatic portal system, where was cap bed 1? We'll do it again with our digestive system. Where was the first bed of capillaries in the hepatic portal system? Hint, its purpose was to pick up amino acids and simple sugars. In the intestines, yeah, in the villi of the small intestines. And then, bypassing the heart, the veins, superior mesenteric, went to hepatic portal. And the second capillary bed were the capillaries of the liver. Okay? In the brain, the first capillary bed was in the hypothalamus at the top of the pituitary stalk, and the second to pick up hormones, releasing factors from the hypothalamus. And the second capillary bed was in the anterior pituitary gland to release the releasing factors and pick up the hormones. All right? Okay. Before we take a break here, one more component. Notice how this afferent arteriole is close to the arcuate artery, deep down in the cortex. So here's its afferent arteriole. Here's the glomerulus. And now the efferent arteriole, instead of contributing to peritubular capillaries, is going to enter into the medulla, form a loop that drops down. This is the third structure, or second that we've talked about, that contributes to that striated appearance. The first one was the collecting ducts going down. Here this is going to dip down, come back up, and usually empties into the arcuate vessels. And sometimes it goes up into the cortical radius. So these are vessels that are straight. What's our word for straight? The abdominal, rectus abdominis, the tubuli, the straight tubules of the testes are the tubuli recti. So these are the vasa recta. We'll talk about their role on Monday. But what happens in the medulla is a concentration of our filtrate. So if you haven't drunk very much water in a few days, we want to keep as much of that filtrate as possible. So your urine comes out looking very, very dark, all right? So that water that is pulled out of the collecting ducts goes into the vasa recta. So we'll talk about that role on Monday. That happens from glomeruli, efferent arterioles that are down near the medulla. Okay, will be the ones that drop into that. All right, so one more question before we take a break, and when we come back, we'll talk about the nephron. And that will be our last point of discussion. We're at 11 now? I guess I should have put this on blank, but we'll. I won't erase this, but I need to bring the screen down so you can see the question, and then I'll raise it during break so you can finish the diagram.
About urine all too much. I gotta pee.
Okay, come back.
I bet everybody has to pee during this lecture.
Again, short-term memory, I covered up the answer by pulling the screen down. But I think you can figure it out. Got confidence. Your mental acuity this time around.
I don't know about my mental acuity anytime.
Professor, does the peritubular capillary, does that have another name?
Are you missing it on the diagram?
I see something on the diagram, but I thought it was the
Cortical radius is that
Glomerular
vertical branch.
capillaries
So
are
this is a smaller detail.
glomerular. capillaries.
The branches, they're just regular arteries, like small arteries, branching off the heart. And so they would be very All right, so come back at 20 after, all right, and we'll finish up the lecture by talking about the nephron. I'll draw a large nephron behind the screen. Well, over here, I'll erase this, and then we'll place it with the blood vessels so we can see the correlation. And then on Monday, we'll look at the purpose, the function, how these structures function to filter and secrete and reabsorb.